Bad bitch will forgive, but she doesn't forget.
Just like remind everyone around you how beautiful they are. Wrong does not equal consent.
Yes. What's up, you guys? It's Joelle, and clearly with a friend here.
Hi, I'm Hannah. My channel is Hannah Likes Science.
Yeah, and Hannah is a freshman YouTuber here at Dartmouth, and we're super excited to be filming. This is on how to be that bitch in college, not just Dartmouth specific, but in general. And I normally don't swear in my videos, but there's literally no other term I can think of to like adequately describe what like how we want to empower you guys through this video. We both asked you guys to ask us some questions via Instagram. Hannah has a dope channel, absolutely check her out. And yeah, let's get on into it.
Okay.
Alrighty, looking at these questions. What is the best and worst part of being a woman on campus? That is so broad.
It is so broad.
But I think if the social pressures are very different, or they look different, the social environments. So like Greek life and that sort of thing, it can be kind of hard to form deeper relationships through Greek life and that sort of thing. At least just what I've seen. There's a whole lot of like fakeness that you have to crawl through to get to those deeper connections. Another thing I've noticed is just being a woman on campus, like especially a woman of color on campus, you may not always feel safe. Like as sucky as that sounds, like you've heard about the stories with like sexual assault and acts of racism, particularly against women on campus and in the world. I would say that this is an issue that is not Dartmouth specific. It is very real for the world at large. These are like very micro things, but I think they're worth mentioning. Just like when you like pong, for example, when a girl is a dude's pong partner and you're single, I think that can like have implications if it's with someone that you don't know that well.
Pong does not equal consent.
Yes, where I think there's sometimes this idea that when you're a pong partner someone, there's like, ooh, like sexual undertones. Like, no, but I've definitely had a dude try to like kiss me after we won a pong game together, and I literally met him that night. And I was just like, oh, it was so gross. Not that you have to be afraid of every dude ever, but like, worth noting.
Honestly, I haven't experienced too many negative things here. That might just be because like I don't go out.
Good.
Like I don't go out every single weekend to everywhere. Like whenever I go out, I always make sure that I'm with like 2 or 3 of my closest friends, and like we're very good about keeping an eye on each other, and in that way like we make sure we're fine. It sucks that we have to do that, but we do, and it definitely makes me feel a lot safer. But I honestly, I haven't faced anything, I think due to my gender, that's like just made me feel really bad.
That's what you want to hear. And I would say just like a cool thing about being at Dartmouth is just meeting so many really, really intelligent, talented, strong women like each other. Exhibit A, and being able to support each other and collaborate together and acknowledge that like we live in a low-key, high-key, misogynistic world, but we're working to make that not the case anymore.
There are so many cool women here. Like you have a conversation with anyone, and within 5 minutes you're gonna find out all these facts about them. They're just all so interesting.
Tips to deal with imposter syndrome.
I haven't experienced long-lasting imposter syndrome, but I've definitely had moments where like I've been in classrooms and just like my confidence I knew wasn't what I wanted it to be. And it may have been because like I don't know, in that particular lecture I was having trouble understanding. It hasn't been like overwhelming to the point where I genuinely didn't feel like I belonged here. Like I've always felt like I've made the right choice in coming here.
No, that's awesome. I would say I didn't really feel it at all here, surprisingly, until this year again. I think also as I was approaching the end of my econ degree, I was like everything that I didn't understand, it like felt like something was wrong, like I missed something, and like I should understand everything perfectly. But that definitely hit a little bit where I was just like, I'm graduating with like this econ degree, why do I feel like I still don't understand this stuff? I feel like I'm faking this major and all that sort of thing. And then I've had some really good professors who are just like, shut up, Joelle, you're pretty smart and you like understand stuff, you need to start being more confident in yourself. And I was like, oh, okay. I've seen it also a lot in job applications where just like men naturally maybe feel more confident in certain industries or circumstances where women have to kind of put themselves out there a little more, whatever that means. But I think women here do a really good job of like standing their ground in general and being like, I deserve this just as much as you do. Favorite class you've ever taken?
I really love honors, cell structure, and function. I've talked a little bit about it on my channel, actually. But yeah, it was an honors level biology class my freshman fall, and it was only like 20 students, but we had literally like 5 graduate TAs and like learning fellows and like all these people there to help us all the time. And the professor was very accessible, and all the people in my class, like in that class, genuinely wanted to be there, because like you had to apply to get into the class. I don't know, the people I met in that class were just like super chill. So I really enjoyed that class and its material.
One class that I always tell everyone to take is Engines 12. It's a class
I can't wait to take that class.
Oh wait, when are you taking it?
I don't know, maybe next year?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's an amazing class. It's the design thinking course under the engineering department, but it's just a fantastic class for really understanding creative problem solving in like very tangible ways of breaking down problems, users, and finding optimal solutions. That sounds really basic, like people should inherently know how to do that. We do not. Like simply put, we do not. And it just gave me so many great skills and was very collaborative. Highly, highly recommend. How do you deal with mansplaining if you have encountered it thus far? I feel like you probably have.
Okay, so my strategy that I've developed over the years is that I like go like this and I just let them talk. And I've discovered that a really good strategy for both winning arguments and dealing with mansplaining is just let them keep talking until they talk themselves into a hole, and then to just be like, well, and then come back in like 2 simple but concise sentences, and they're just like,
you're like, I'm gonna go now. I think like the few times I have really encountered mansplaining have just been like, maybe I probably don't deal with this in the best way possible. I normally just like sit and listen, just like, yeah, and like kind of what hand it is, and just like let them keep talking. I shouldn't even say this. But like after they're done, I'm just like, oh, thanks. And then I leave and talk about it and make fun of them behind their backs with my friends. Yeah. Not that I'm recommending that. That's probably not the best way to do it. I would say like for sure confronting people about it. But I think also just having patience is super important, and also like knowing when to fight your battles. So like if you have a good response and just like, I'm gonna clap back right now, do it. If it's not worth your energy, just walk away.
Smile and nod.
And just like,
turn around and strut off.
That's cute, thanks. How do you stay motivated? I feel like if I give myself a little leniency, I lose all work ethic. Which I feel like we can both speak to with the YouTube academics life, you know?
Yes. Personally, there are different things like that I'm motivated for. Like there's motivation to like work out and eat healthy. There's motivation to like be creative and like work on independent projects like YouTube. There's motivation to like do schoolwork. And for each of those, I have like, I guess, different methods of motivating myself. For creative things like YouTube, I have an internal motivation because it's like, it can be a creative outlet, and it's also just like, I'm connecting with people, like that's cool, I want to keep doing this. And then also like the little bit of AdSense is like,
yeah, it's like a nice motivator.
Yeah. And then when it comes to like academics, like there's that internal motivator, like I want to do as best as I can, like for myself. Whenever I start to lose motivation for academics, what helps for me personally is just to go back to the place where like my passion for a certain subject was like triggered. Something I do sometimes when I'm losing motivation to do like physics, whatever, I'll go watch like Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos or something and just like watch an episode or 2 of those, and then I'm just like, wow, the universe is
like
beautiful.
My purpose is restored.
I'm like, okay, time to do this problem set.
Awesome. I'm gonna pair these questions together because I think it kind of makes sense. How have you been able to build your schedule so that you're able to get things that you want to get done?
My YouTube channel might make me look more organized than I am. Like, I have a planner. I'm gonna get my planner.
Show them the planner.
My physical planner is the embodiment of how well I schedule my time. If you can't notice, the pages are all damp and wet and mostly empty.
Yeah, what? There's nothing on this.
And I would recommend keeping a planner, but I just do it all in my head.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just like.
I need to show you my planner.
We're about to see quite the contrast.
Okay, I don't know how you keep that in your head, because literally, if I don't write it down, it doesn't happen. So I have, a little thanks Sally for the athlete planner that is definitely not mine. But literally, like, I have each hour like written out.
Wow.
And like to-do lists and like organization, like colors for classes and non-class things. Look, there's Hannah film. And now we're filming.
It's like I'll write down like things I need to get done in a day, and I'll just like do them. And then like when I'm done with them, I'm done for the day. which
my brain just could not. Just to touch on, motivation. For me, I think Hannah alluded to this a little bit, but remembering why you're doing what you're doing is so important. And as you mentioned on her channel, which you should go check out, it's really important to understand your why before you do the what. And that's just overall for figuring out like how you should spend your time, your energy, and all that sort of thing. Really goes back to like your internal identity. Like the reason why I grind through like econ and film, I know where it's taking me, and like that idea of what I'm working towards in the super long run is enough to keep me motivated to do it. Or when I'm really tired and like maybe I scheduled a meal with someone, it'd be really easy for me to flake. Like I remember, wow, I have such limited time, like being able to foster this relationship in this same geographical location, I should really take advantage of it. And then along those lines, when it comes to scheduling, like I schedule in like time for myself. I'm sure like you build it in as well, just when you're writing down like things that you need to get done, like knowing your limits and being able to say no to things is like so major. How accessible are women-dominated social spaces at Dartmouth?
Well, as a freshman, I as I mentioned in my video where we talk a little bit more about Greek life, I've been like kind of dipping my toe into the sororities. In general, they're definitely, at least for me, because I'm not affiliated right now, less accessible than the fraternities, which is kind of sad because sometimes you just want to be in like a female dominated space, but it's not like I have no access.
Yeah, so there's a couple sororities that are open, so like on a night out when people want to hang out, you can go to those places. However, it does make a pretty big difference to be affiliated or not. So unfortunately, I would say like Dartmouth really needs to work on that because it's just not accessible to everyone. Boo. Be better, Dartmouth. Can you speak on the culture of body image for women at Dartmouth? I would say this is a really interesting one for me personally, especially just like this. For the past 2 years, I think I've become much more aware of like the mental health issues largely surrounding body image for both like my female and male friends at Dartmouth. It is really awful and like really sad how much pressure there is to perform in a number of ways. There are a lot of really gorgeous people, gorgeous girls. For dudes, can't really say. Honestly, I can't really say. But for girls, there's a lot of beautiful women on campus, and I think it's really easy to see the most face-tiny, the most visible people, and be like, wow, if I was really attractive, or if I was skinnier, or whatever, people would like me more. Maybe I would have an easier time during rush. And those are all thoughts that are completely like, honestly, they're not even completely irrational because we just live in such an imperfect world. But I would say there's definitely like this underlying theme of just like the expectation of women to look good to some degree. Not in all circumstances. I think it is better than in other schools and other sororities. So I would say even though Dartmouth doesn't like blatantly have any things that like should pressure women to look good, when you're surrounded by a bunch of really like fit, athletic people.
Oh, everyone here is beautiful.
Everyone here is like so athletic.
And
it's insane.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
Like just like looking around and it's like, wow, everyone in this room has a six-pack.
No, it's very interesting because it's like, I think very Dartmouth specific because it's a small school, so athletes make up a pretty large portion of our student demographic, and then with that, like there's this whole like outdoorsy, crunchy culture where people are really athletic and just do a lot physically. So if you're not like that, I think you notice and you feel it.
People always like talk about the freshman 15, and well, like my freshman 15 has not been 15. I have like gained a few pounds since coming to college, and even like something as small as a few pounds, just because of like what society is thrown in there. It's kind of like, oh, I used to be like this, and now I'm like this, and I like my body. I think it's fine, but that number's different now.
Yeah.
And for some people, like that hits them more than others. That I know that like a lot of my friends have struggled with their college body types. It's just like so important to like just like remind everyone around you how beautiful they are, because everyone at the school is beautiful. Like they really are.
I'm hesitant to add this because it's very specific to like my own experience, but for me, like I didn't have issues with like body image at all until I rushed and I was surrounded by like incredibly thin, fit girls. So part of it was being like feeling like I was kind of at a deficit being a woman of color in a largely like Caucasian social group. Not that that was like imposed upon me necessarily, but I definitely felt it. Not saying that that's like a part of Greek life, but it's something that I noticed after rushing. And I'm just like, coincidence? I think not.
Has it like stayed since rushing?
So I left for a gap year after after my sophomore year when I rushed, and that year was so important for me to figure out like value systems like we've been touching on consistently, but also just like reaffirming myself and like my value regardless of all of these external circumstances. So that helped a lot. Like being able to leave was huge. I think last question would just be number one piece of advice for being a fierce freshman in college.
If you're not confident, fake it till you make it. Talk to people, have fun. Everyone is gonna be just as confused as you. So I feel like if you like put on this confident persona, it can, even if it's fake, it can just make things so much more easier, and you can be that boss lady, you know?
No, I definitely agree. Like sometimes you have to tell yourself things that are not true until you make them true. Like you have to really believe something yourself and convince yourself of it.
That's how I decided
to be able to emulate it.
That's how I decided I was smart.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in 8th grade, I was doing like a science worksheet, and I was like, huh, this is interesting. I'm gonna be smart now. And then I went from like a BC student to a straight A student.
Wait, no way!
Yeah, I totally believe in the power of the mind.
Yeah, like positive declarations are huge. I also like asked via Instagram for some friends to give their pieces of advice to share with you, so I'm gonna go rattle through those really quick. One of my best friends also says, surround yourself with empowering and uplifting women. Very easy to do here because there's a lot of those. My friend Anjali says, a bad bitch will forgive, but she doesn't forget. I think that is really important for understanding the difference between forgiving, which I think is an essential part to like inner health and healing, but also like not putting yourself in the same situations to make yourself susceptible to people who maybe don't respect you the way that they should be. She also says cry when you need to, huge. But yeah, Caroline says to celebrate other women because you can't expect respect from others if you don't respect them yourselves. So yeah, I think that is like, we'll leave on that. If anything else, I would just say we celebrate you guys, and we are so excited for any of you guys who may be coming into college or are already in college and you're just looking for ways to, I don't know, boost up your confidence, boost up like your sense of self and your pride as a woman. You have accomplished so much so far just by getting into college. It is no easy feat, and all the things that college throws at you, balancing academics and social life and all of that, is insane. So I guess I can leave you with any parting thoughts. I would just say, remember that like what you have internally, regardless of external circumstances, labels, or opinions, is the most important part of your identity, and figuring that out as you come into college and deciding for yourself what is important and what you want to prioritize is the major key to being happy, confident, and successful as a woman in college.
That's it.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Hannah, for joining me in this video. Yeah, we've been trying to get a video out together for a while now, so I'm glad we're finally able to. Once again, Hannah's channel will be linked down below, as well with her segment of this Q&A where we touch on a few other topics. So I definitely recommend checking them out, and also just checking out Hannah's channel in general. She makes a lot of really helpful videos for people who are transitioning into college, people who are interested in STEM, and if you're just curious about what life as a college student, a college freshman at Dartmouth is like, definitely check out her channel. If you'd like to follow us on our social medias, I'll have both of our handles linked down below and just thrown right here for your convenience somewhere on the screen. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Love you. Jesus loves you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Wait, let me film my 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.